CTV News at 5 with Hudson Mack.
And there has been a stabbing in Duncan that has left one man in Victoria General Hospital and 3 women in RCMP custody. The Mounties were called to a popular swimming area on the Cowichan River yesterday afternoon. When they got there, they found a man suffering several stab wounds to his chest and abdomen. The 47-year-old victim was taken first to Cowichan District Hospital, then airlifted to Victoria. Police arrested a 42-year-old woman near the scene for aggravated assault with a weapon, and they're treating the attack as attempted murder. Mounties are also holding 2 other women in custody.
The female that was located close by is in custody, is suspected of being the culprit in the stabbing. And there are 2 females in addition to this suspect who are also being held for investigation. Upon attendance, the police located the male quite seriously hurt. He was suffering from several stab wounds. He lost a lot of blood at the scene. It took a while for EHS or ambulance to be able to get to his location due to it being it's out of the way.
RCMP say the victim is in stable condition. The RCMP dive team was back at the scene today gathering evidence near where the stabbing occurred. An international manhunt is underway for a man who is accused of smuggling hundreds of Tamil refugees onto Vancouver Island 2 years ago. RCMP say they are searching for the ringleader who masterminded the crossing of the ship MV Sunsea. It was intercepted off Vancouver Island and escorted to CFB Esquimalt in August 2010, carrying nearly 500 Tamil migrants. The name of the man police are seeking is Thaya Karan Markandu. He is charged with organizing illegal entry into Canada. The men, women, and children on board the rusty, crowded ship claimed that they were fleeing persecution and violence in their native Sri Lanka. RCMP believe that Markandu is not in this country right now. If he is convicted, he could face life in prison and a $1 million fine. Vic PD says it is satisfied with the guilty verdict for a man who's been convicted of trying to kill a Victoria police officer. Victoria Police say Guy Seguin is guilty of attacking an officer outside the downtown 7-Eleven store in January last year. The BC Supreme Court jury in Victoria came back with that verdict late yesterday. Seguin stabbed 25-year-old Constable Lane Douglas Hunt in the neck as she had responded to a shoplifting call at the 7-Eleven store where it happened. In her testimony, she claims that the man grabbed her face, pulled a knife out, and swung it at her in an exaggerated hook-like motion to her head. Victoria Police are satisfied with the outcome.
Certainly as an organization, we felt very strongly that there needed to be a verdict of attempted murder as opposed to a lesser offense. And we're delighted as an organization that the jury came back with that verdict. And I know Constable Douglas Hunt and her family are satisfied with that as well.
The officer underwent surgery to repair extensive damage to her left hand as well. Suffered in the altercation. She required stitches to her hand and was treated for puncture wounds to her neck. She was fortunate not to have been killed, just centimeters away from a fatal wound. The attempted murder charge was the most serious that Seguin could have faced. A Port Hardy woman has died after being struck by a minivan while crossing the street. She's been identified as 49-year-old Carol Humchett. It happened about 7 o'clock last night after a power failure in the area had knocked out streetlights on that street. The City of Nanaimo would like to hear from you before it expands off-leash dog parks around the region. The Harbour City could have a dozen off-leash parks by the spring of next year if people in Nanaimo give it their seal of approval. The potential new sites include Wardropper Park, Northfield Rest Stop, and Gallows Point. The city says it wants to hear your thoughts first, though, so it can set up the proper amenities.
And what we've been hearing so far is that there is a desire from the public to have more sites, especially scattered throughout the city, so that they don't have to drive to our original site, which was at Beban Park. And the input so far has been that there is a definite need and that there are other characteristics that people would like to see at each park, such as shade trees, water, some with fences, some that are in natural settings, and really a variety around the city.
The city's holding an open house this Saturday at the Beban Park Social Centre from 1 till 4. If you'd like to give your feedback online, you can do it at nanaimo.ca and share your opinion about the expansion of the off-leash areas.